The new commander of the 23rd Infantry Motorized Infantry Battalion promises tough times to those promoting insecurity in the Mongo division close to the Kupe-Mwaniguba division in the southwest region of the country, hit by socio-political crisis for close to 3 years. The new commander was commissioned into his functions recently. And also in this newscast, we're going to show you the fascinating works of a young Cameroonian of 17 years old. He is qualified as an engineer in the making. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television, live from our headquarters in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. I am Babla Jonathan. Perpetrators of insecurity and violence in the Mongo division in the littoral region of the country, close to the Kupe-Mwaniguba division in the crisis-hit southwest region of the country, have been promised very tough times by the new commander of the 23rd Motorized Infantry Battalion. He spoke during his installation ceremony, indicating that tougher measures were going to be taken in the days ahead to fight against the rising insecurity in the Mongo division, which is being attributed to the deepening Anglophone crisis in neighboring southwest region. For me, Armstrong Sander has more.
Mongo in the littoral region has been the center of several attacks lately, with some observers quick to link them to the conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. People have either been killed, kidnapped, or have their properties destroyed in localities like Mombo, Mbanga, Pendamboku and Dor, which have recorded devastating armed attacks across the Mongo division lately. Preoccupying as the situation has been to administrative authorities of the littoral region, the newly appointed commander of the 23rd Motorized Infantry Battalion in Lum said it is over with insecurity across the Mongo.
Had earlier called them that there is no way you can dialogue when there is no peace. He who doesn't want peace will never be given peace. That is why I have said with my installation today, I want to assure the population of those who are in Banga, in Suza, in Kompina, in Kappa, that is most of the localities in the Mongo division should know that their own cry has come to an end.
He was speaking during his installation ceremony in Lum after his appointment by a presidential decree of March 5, 2019. Before receiving the baton of command, the new commander was charged with specific instructions to be executed mainly in the neighboring Kupe-Mwaniguba division, southwest region of Cameroon.
Le chef de bataillon
He was equally charged to facilitate an end to the Anglophone crisis by embarking on special missions to border localities of the Meme and Kupe-Mwaniguba in the neighboring southwest region of Cameroon. The new commander, Etoge Hennesen Lawson, has been interim commander of the 23rd Motorized Infantry Battalion for several months before his official appointment on March 5, 2019 by a presidential decree. The new commander was installed by Colonel Eyenge Severin of the 21st Military Battalion in the presence of top administrative and military officials of the littoral region, like General Saleh Muhammadu, commander of the 2nd Military Region.
And the situation in the two Anglophone regions of the Republic of Cameroon has continued deepening, leaving several persons dead, several others displaced, and villages, many villages devastated. And one of such villages is Nguti subdivision in the southwest region of the country, where our correspondent Terry Jato takes us to.
After being deserted for a very long time, Nguti, a subdivision in Kupe-Mwaniguba division, is showing sign of life again.
We dey fine. What we dey fine for we?
Ngoti was a very good place before the war came and chased people out. This woman says, and today people are coming back. She added,
and people then they come back.
But many Ngoti people are still hiding somewhere deep in these forests for fear of being killed. And Mr. Meke Ebasearch Michael Albert, divisional officer from Ngoti subdivision, knows this, reason why he is calling on those in the forest to come out.
Those who are in the bushes, let them know that this town, see how we are mixing with the military, we are mixing with the population, there is nothing as war against here.
This place called Ngoti stands tall in the southwest region as a subdivision with well-planted electric poles and cabled, but has never seen electricity.
We had succeeded to procure 2 giant solar panels. These panels would have been connected, but for this crisis, any time from now, the solar panel will be connected.
Today, these Ngoti people say they have been remembered at Easter by Mr. Oki Johnson Doe, an elite of the subdivision.
Brother saying we chop, so we can chop for the Easter. So we're glad plenty.
Our brother has sent us gifts to celebrate Easter, and we are very happy and thank him to continue with that spirit. And present was Mr. Meke Ebasearch Michael Albert, the divisional officer from Ngoti subdivision, who centered his message in context with the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ.
We are moving towards the Easter period. Jesus Christ came with charity. It is the reason why our main elite brother, OK Johnson Doe, have decided to share the gift with food items to the population in Ngoti.
To this administrator, reconciliation and forgiveness should be demonstrated this Easter for peace. Peace that pundits still left the northwest and southwest regions some 3 years ago.
And the number of persons internally displaced by the socio-political and security crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon continues increasing day by day as the situation worsens further. Non-governmental organizations have continued striving to improve on their precarious and even deadly living conditions, while government's aid within the framework of the close to 13 billion francs a year, the humanitarian aid plan, is still awaited in many parts of the two regions and even other regions that are receiving IDPs, including the littoral, the west and the central regions of the country. The struggle for survival. Men, women and children striving to meet their basic needs. Kicked out of their homes in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon by the Anglophone crisis, they are now battling to survive and to cope with the high cost of living in the country's economic capital, Douala, thanks to aid from men and women of goodwill and non-governmental organizations like the Aya Foundation.
She was like, it's not be easy. That same day, shooting the over too much way, it made me fear.
It was not easy. There was a lot of shooting and I was afraid. So we ran and came here to grandmother's house.
Come here, we can't be enough way. The grandma, the house away. We need to find our own place. But that same moment,
we struggled to get a house, but it's not easy to pay rent.
House rent, you know, the easy. I think it's the first straw.
I lived there with my wife, 3 children. Got to Douala here. For some time, I'm looking a place to sleep.
Because of the crisis, my children came to stay with me here and we are managing to live.
me I try for survival.
The number of internally displaced persons in Douala and other parts of the country is increasing by the day as the crisis deepens further.
We are trying to see if we can attend to just 1,000 people. What we have at least can carry 1,000 people for just about a month or two. So that's why we came here. It's the turn of Douala. After this, we should be able to go to the northwest region, to the west region, and to the center region. So we just need to assist them and keep them alive while we pray that the war ends very soon.
We are here to be part, to educate our young girls against HIV and STDs and other things so that they should be able to stay calm, and while they stay calm, they pray to God Almighty so this crisis should be resolved.
Overwhelmed by suffering, they are begging for a return to normalcy in the two Anglophone regions so that they can return home. Cameroon's Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Celestine Kecha-Kutes, is urging contractors executing some public contracts or construction works in Konsamba in the Mongo Division, littoral region of the country to respect deadlines. She was speaking during a working visit to that part of the country. Smanjigan Gabriel has more.
Once amongst the top 3 cities in Cameroon, Konsamba is now lagging behind. Dirt littered along major streets and uncompleted projects in the city is a big problem to the inhabitants as the rainy season draws near.
The difficulties that we have in our quarter here is from the rainy season. When there is raining, the gutter everywhere is flooded. So rain enter our houses, rain wet our mattresses. So we are begging for the government to assist us, to help us, to try and see how we can solve this problem, because there is no way that we can live when there is rain. In the rainy season we see a lot of difficulties. And again, we are complaining that the gutters are small because people have built their house, they have reduced the gutter, and some of them have even drained their toilet from the gutters. So when the rain falls, the water go into their toilet and remove their excretors, and everywhere from the rainy season is smell.
The descent to the field made by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development was timely. People do whatsoever they like in Mongo Division. I'm glad the minister has seen for herself, and we shall do everything possible to follow them up. The minister, who visited some construction sites, used the opportunity to put more pressure on the contractors to finish up with their projects and also call on the population to join in the development of Konsamba. I came down to sensitize the different companies to respect their contracts and also talk to the population about their role in the development of our country, that the youth should seize the opportunities at their disposal.
Saisir les opportunités qu'offrent tous ces grands chantiers que vous voyez vous-même, que les jeunes, les femmes.
At certain points, the minister was shocked with the difference recorded in prices of doing the same work.
Comment vous pouvez dire qu'on a eu 200 millions à Manjo pour 800 mètres? On vient ici, on a 200 millions pour un clinique, c'est pas possible.
The contractors who have been blamed for the delay are asking for more time. I have asked the minister to give me some time to finish since I had some delay, but it was because the one who gave me the contract gave me 6 months late. Many are now hoping that after the passage of the minister, construction works in major sites in the town of Konsamba will be executed on time.
Vera Songwe meets the President of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya. The Executive Secretary of the Economic Commission for Africa was received at the Unity Palace in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, earlier today by the President of the Republic, and both personalities discussed, amongst other issues, the development of the digital economy in Cameroon and other economic issues, notably in connection to efforts of the government to achieve the economic growth and, of course, the emergence of the Republic of Cameroon by 2035. On to something else now. The Association of Enterprises involved in the production and distribution of electricity and water is stepping up efforts to curb accidents related to electricity problems, notably the poor connection of electric cables. Among these problems include fire disasters recorded in homes, in enterprises, and more so in markets, especially here in the economic capital, Douala. The association is embarked on a sensitization tour to educate and, of course, edify Cameroonians on measures that can be taken at individual levels, at the level of institutions, to avoid the recurrent fire disasters and other accidents linked to poor electrical connections in homes, in enterprises, and in markets across the country, notably here in the economic capital, Douala. It was the purpose of this seminar taking place here in Douala, during which the commander of the 201 Fire and Rescue Unit here in Douala, I'm talking about Captain Afu Hansel, used the occasion to edify the participants on the work or the responsibilities of the fire and rescue arm of the National Armed Forces, or better still, the military, and of course measures that should be taken by individuals and by companies to avoid the fire disasters, or better still, to prevent the fire disasters. Here's an extract of what he told us.
Taken to prevent fire, particularly in our markets. Let me take a particular aspect. You always meet people who say, who call our National Electricity Corporation as being the cause of many fires because they call it as short circuits as a whole. But in reality, if you respect the norms of installing your electricity context, you will never get to this disaster. You need to respect everything you do in putting in place the electricity in your environment. To do it, you contact the specialist. If you contact the specialist, you will never get to such a disaster. Now, in putting up your market, you should go closer to the technician, like as far as fire is concerned, like us. We will tell you what you have to put in place to prevent such incidents. If all this is done, we think we will not, the incident must always exist, but we will need to, but it will be minimized. If you don't, first of all, take measures to facilitate our access to where there's, you agree with me that it will be difficult for us to access where there's an accident. And when we will get there, obviously we will do everything in our position to maintain the fire incidents where they are, taking into consideration the fact that when you are building, you must have used the materials that follow the norms in construction.
That was Captain Afu Hansel, commander of the 201 Fire and Rescue Unit here in Douala, speaking there on the measures that should be taken to prevent fire disasters and what should be done to mitigate the damages recorded in fire accidents. Now, coming up, EQUINOXE takes us into the fascinating world of a 17-year-old from 3 Cameroonian who is being described as an engineer in the making.
He is one amongst many others with architectural engineering skills displaced by the Anglophone crisis. Our Blaise, 17 years old, was forced out of school in Form 3 in Bamenda by the armed conflict. He has been residing in Kululun, Douala for a month now, but not idle. Now an internally displaced, he decided to bring out the giant in him, that is, building electrically driven wooden vehicles and electrically powered aircrafts.
These are the flaps blade that make the plane to go up. When the plane wants to fly, the plane have to run. So when the plane have run with speed, these flaps compresses air, and the air lifts up the plane up. Then here we have the steering of the plane that give the plane direction, and this is also the flaps of the tail that when these flaps take off this head, then the flaps of this tail also take up the tail.
Some of the vehicles include armor tankers.
We use it to defend our country with it. I fabricate it out of carton, wood, and electronic cables and some light zincs with motors removed from decks and amplifiers. Hey,
bulldozers.
So this is 2-in-1 caterpillar. We have bulldozer and excavator. The one is always used to mine, while the one is used to clear roads. Then this one is used to mine something very far down inside the ground. Things like cement material, we have some iron material, sand, stone. When we want to plant some far pillars down, it's also used for constructions and building. These are cables. We have bottles and 1 liter bottles head that I've cut to put here. They will have carton. You can have motor removed from decks, and also have carton, and we have thread and bolts and shafts that is used to manipulate the arm of this head. This one is a stamper. When we are fixing a road, we use it to make the road smooth, well pounds, so that when the road is being constructed, so that we don't have too much pothole. We are seeing potholes on road. It's just that road is not being stamped very well. Then there is a gear system that supplies power to the machine. We also have the vibrating system inside that make the machine to apply force to compress the ground to be strong. This one is a front loader. So this one is used to load a camion when they have mined things like grants, to load a truck. This is the gearbox of this front loader that is applying force for the wheels, for this chain to turn around on this wheels. So it is a chain. The chain is receiving a command from this gearbox before the chain can turn around. So it's the chain that is making this front loader to move forward, backward, left and right.
Trucks.
The truck is used to carry sand, some heavy loads, stone ground, to transfer some of our mining material that has been removed from the ground. So this one helps us to transfer it for far distance and to carry it a quantity that a human being cannot carry it inside the wheelbarrow.
Cars are also inclusive.
Yeah, this is the gearbox. This gearbox is being placed inside under the car. This gearbox is usually placed under the car. So this car is too small for this gearbox to be fitted under. This is a front drive, because for cars we have rear drive, which is the back wheels that forward the car. But there are cars that are driven by the front wheels.
All of these wooden vehicles are controlled with this motherboard to function as though they were wheels.
It is used to control all these machines. It is being made out of aluminium, as you can see, cartons and bamboos. So it is electrified through these cables. Yeah, the role of the cable is to obtain live current from the battery, because this is the main supply. This way it takes in power, electrical power, to control all these machines. So it passes through this cable and to all these various sticks. While I'm moving forward, an action is taking place, either a bend, a turn, or moving directly forward or backward. So each of them have its function. They are being wired according to the different functions of these port here.
But making this craft work normally needed time.
The time that I begin fixing this vehicle, I did not know how I can make the thing to be common to manipulate it. So I was taking the cable that is from this vehicle, from the machine, to exchange with the battery. So I stood one day and think that, let me think something so easy for the machine to be manipulating so easy. So I decided I'll fix the remote so that I can exchange the battery. Instead to exchange this there, I exchange it on the remote. This one is a battery that is powering all this machine to move forward any direction that the machine is being planned to move. So this is a 12 volt battery, because the motor used on this machine are 12 volts and motors.
Our blessed Chi was inspired from childhood.
I was still a kid. I was seeing other kids playing with toys, and my own parents was unable to buy them. So I decided to look the view of those toys and come out with my own toys. So when I do my own like that, I play with it also. So by that time I was doing all types of toys that time, looking the views of toys around me. I also watch movies.
Moving robots are equally results of his aptitude. He had also admired science that gave birth to magnificent technology. Bless did not limit himself admiring planes fly, bulldozers and caterpillars doing incredible works, and so on, but to build his.
When moving the town, I see machine working somewhere, building machine, at times seeing planes fly over the city, our town.
Bless, a mentor to Nziaro land, was encouraged by his elder brother to develop such
This
a creativity.
One is a stamper. My elder brother see the thing was so serious, so my elder brother was behind me, forcing me to do it. So this is why I've discovered myself, come out with those machines.
Yes, he created an helicopter and tests the helicopter and tested it without remote. So the helicopter just flight and went. He never find it again. It just lost in the sky. So that was when I really sat down and said, no, there is something in that boy's head.
Moral support also came from his parents.
Anything that you both see that it can be the best for him, I will not refuse. I will accept. Because even to go to training, he can still be going to school.
I'm looking forward to do those machines in a very great way with iron, some good materials that are more better than the one I'm seeing.
Our blessed Chi now hopes to work with car manufacturing companies or something more.
Our blessed Chi, the engineer in the making. Thanks a bunch, EQUINOXE, for that special report. And that's it for this edition of the news on Equinox Television. Thanks for staying with us.